It's me, Mr. Sean, again with another video talking to you about I am set apart. If you remember last week, we talked about how the people that love God and accept Him in their hearts are special to God, just like my special rocks in my rock collection. I hope last week that you remembered that God thinks you're special. No mistakes we make can ever change that. I think you're special too. This week, our verse is Psalm chapter 139, verse 14. It says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. This verse of the Bible was written by David. Some of you remember that David was just a tiny shepherd boy who defeated the giant Goliath with just a slingshot and some stones, just like the slingshot I have here and the stone I have here. David later grew up to become one of the greatest kings of Israel. David was a very unlikely hero in the Bible. He was just a young boy, a little older than some of you, when he took on and defeated Goliath. Before David came along, the entire army of Israel was standing in front of Goliath, and Goliath wanted to pick a fight with anyone in the Israelite army who was willing to fight him. Guess what? Nobody wanted to take him on. I have no doubt that most of the men in Israel's army were bigger, stronger, and more experienced than David. But David realized that God had already given him the ability to defeat Goliath. David said, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. David believed that God had given him the perfect skills and ability to defeat Goliath. When I read the story of David and Goliath, I can identify 3 skills and abilities that God gave to David. First, God gave him courage. No one else wanted to take on Goliath because they were afraid they would lose. David volunteered to do the job in spite of any fears that he had. Second, God gave David intelligence. David knew that he could not defeat Goliath in a sword fight or a wrestling match. Goliath was simply too big. David decided that his slingshot would be his best chance. And third, God gave David fantastic aim. The Bible says that David slung the stone and struck Goliath right in the forehead. And he fell face down on the ground. Game over. God had equipped David with everything he needed. God had designed David for just that moment. You and I are also fearfully and wonderfully made by God. God has given us specific talents and abilities that no other person in the world has in the same way. When I was in school, I was really good at math, but I wasn't very good at art. Today, I'm really good at puzzles, but I'm not a very good singer. There are probably some things that you aren't very good at. Maybe you're not good at math or reading or paying attention or whatever. It can be frustrating when we aren't as good at the things as other people. Remember, God has designed you to have all the gifts and skills and abilities you need to do the things He planned for you to do. I know that many of you are really good at sports. Others are good at music. Others are really good at making other people feel good or loved. God doesn't make mistakes. He never thinks, I should have done a better job when I made that person. No, God says, I made that person wonderfully. God made you perfectly just the way you are. So have a wonderful week, boys and girls. I'll be back again next Sunday to share more about how we are set apart for God.